There is big news, and Congress, everybody, is expected to make some big adjustments just to SNAP program to help Americans across the country out. We know that President Biden is not doing enough for the American people, and we declare that people should be getting the stimulus checks in 2023 just to help with the rise of inflation, just to help with the cost of living, everybody. Now, in the coming months, Congress is expected to reauthorize the SNAP benefits, the country's largest food assistance program that helps poor families and afford groceries. Now, amidst this ongoing debt crisis, Republicans have focused on SNAP work provisions, proposing expansions to work requirements and identifying employment as a program goal. These efforts are key to providing better assistance to beneficiaries. Enhanced benefits under the SNAP ended March 1st, and a significant share of households are reporting food insufficiency. The latest data released last week marks the first full period of data collection since the end of the SNAP benefits. It revealed that households in states that were distributing the extra benefits generally experienced lower levels of food insufficiency compared to those in states distributing standard debt amounts. Now, households in states that opted out of emergency allotments reported that they often do not have enough money and food to eat at the higher rates than those in states that continue to distribute the additional SNAP benefits. 1 in 4 households in the 32 states impacted by the policy change are reporting that either sometimes often do not have enough to eat. For some households that received benefits up until the program's termination, the policy change has major implications. For instance, a family of 4 with a net monthly income of $2,000 received $940 more in SNAP benefits this year compared to the previous crisis. And with the end of the emergency allotments, that family is now receiving $600 less a month. In total, roughly 32 million people are receiving smaller monthly SNAP payments, which is so much bad for American people. Other changes to SNAP include eligibility requirements. Republicans have passed a bill that would raise the age limit from 50 to 56 years old for the work requirements, and also that affect qualification for SNAP benefits too. But there is little chance that the bill will pass in its current format, with the Democratic-controlled Senate and President Biden already signaling that he would veto any spending cuts to the debt ceiling increase. In an effort to reach some kind of compromise, though, rules around the SNAP program could be adjusted in future years. This past Friday's better than expected jobs report defied interest rate hikes again that are aimed to slash inflation by cooling the economy. Instead, the U.S. added around 253,000 jobs in April, making a slight decline from an average of 290,000 over the previous months. And now government data showed that the job gains did not occur evenly across sectors. Some industries posted blockbuster expansions, while others lagged far behind. The sector that featured the most job gain covers a wide-reaching set of positions, referred to as businesses and professional services, which includes attorneys, accountants, managers, and computer engineers. The sector added 43,000 jobs last month, nearly doubling an average of 25,000 jobs gained over the previous 6. The major expansion arrives despite high-profile layoffs in the media and tech industries. Healthcare, an industry that is showing job growth in recent months, continued at a blistering pace in April, and according to experts, the performance in this industry owes a large part to the aging population. Roughly 17% of Americans are 65 years or older. That share of the population, which counts for 55 million people, has grown nearly 40% since 2010, everybody. Jerome Powell just made a huge announcement on inflation. A new Social Security bill has been proposed by top Republicans. If the bill passes, it could affect many seniors financially. Watch to the end because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. There is a big update on inflation. Jerome Powell told lawmakers that the central bank is determined to bring down inflation and has the ability to do so and make it happen. During a meeting with the Senate Banking Committee, Powell stated, "At the Fed, we understand the hardship high inflation is causing. We are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down, and we are moving expeditiously to do so. We have both the tools we need and the resolve it will take to restore price and stability on behalf of American families and beneficiaries." Along with expressing resolve on inflation, Powell
in our country. And let me thank all of our panelists for being with us. And let me thank the senators who I know are going to be filtering in as the hearing progresses. My understanding is that Ranking Member Lindsey Graham has a scheduling conflict and will be making his opening statement after our witnesses testify. Is that right? Yep. Okay. Social Security is, I think, as everybody knows, one of the most popular and
Huge news, there is a new stimulus schedule for eligible Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipients. President Biden has confirmed that he will be taking executive action to address the rising cost of living across the country. Now here's some big news from the Biden administration. The Transportation Secretary told CNN that President Biden is working to fortify the economy amid steep inflation with efforts to shore up the supply chain and invest in the capacity of our economy to keep up with demand. He also stated the president made clear inflation is his top economic priority, and he's laid out a very clear strategy for doing that. So this is really good news, everybody, as inflation continues to reach record highs. So Buttigieg said the administration will continue to take the steps that are both on the price side and on the growth side to keep the economy strong. An ABC News poll shows the economy and inflation are top of the mind for voters ahead of the midterms. According to the poll, only 37% of Americans approve of Biden's handling of the economic recovery. The current inflation rate is 8.3%. And Buttigieg told CNN that the president has proposed a number of things to help improve the economy that could be passed by Congress, including lowering the cost of insulin, childcare, and housing. These measures make a difference no matter what happens. It will make life easier for Americans who are facing these economic question marks. Gas prices, which are at a record high after increasing for months, are also a concern heading to the summer travel season. The current nationwide average is about $4.84 a gallon. About 2 months ago, Biden announced plans to release 1 million barrels of oil per day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, saying that at the time, he expected this to bring down gas prices. In early April, executives testified before Congress, disputing the argument that they are price gouging customers. They claimed the situation is complex and that the near-term increase in the supply of oil and natural gas could help. And the Hawaii governor proposed sending a tax rebate to every Hawaii taxpayer. Taxpayers, folks, $5,000 can be claimed right now by many Americans. Negotiations are beginning on boosted cash payments that would actually help provide financial aid to many low-income households. Here is the latest news on another round of stimulus checks. The Alaska Senate approved a state spending package, and that includes spending cash payments of $5,500 for people in Alaska. The package includes dividends of about $4,200 to residents this year, as well as energy relief. These energy relief checks are about $1,300. The vote in Alaska comes as a number of other states are considering sending more direct payments to the residents as Americans continue to grapple with record high inflation and rising gas prices, driven by the crisis. The package passed 15-5 and was sent to the House, and it will be decided whether to agree with the Senate version. The House approved a version of the budget last month, and that included a dividend of roughly $1,250 and a $1,300 energy check. Lawmakers in recent years have been divided over the size of the dividend, traditionally paid with earnings from the state oil's wealth fund, known as the Alaska Permanent Fund. During a debate on the budget, the Senate voted 10-9 in support of a dividend of about $4,200. The cost for the size dividend would be nearly $2.8 billion, while the cost of the proposed energy payment is estimated at $840 million. Supporters of the Senate budget argued that Alaskans could use the financial help, while critics raised concerns about the possible fiscal consequences. The Alaska House Speaker was critical of conservative lawmakers in the state Senate for voting for a budget